Welcome back, athletes. We have got some nice low-intensity activity for you today to get prepped for the open, for an upcoming competition, whatever is around the corner, so let's go. And we are getting into our warm-up, so let's get to it. We are starting out with our burpee air squat and elevated burpee air squat. So athletes are gonna get to their burpees on the floor, or if we are doing an elevated version here, we have a burpee that will be closer to an up-down, so you do not have to lower yourself to the box. But we've got Becca, who is gonna be doing her elevated version, jumping back or stepping back. We've got two options here. For Brock, we have our burpee air squat, but he is modifying to a burpee with a step back lunge on each side with a knee issue going on, so please feel free to modify at home if needed. Next, we are moving into Brock is going to the runner. He's gonna go into a walk for 30 seconds, and then we've got Becca going heel toe rocks here. So we're really just getting our bodies ready for either the run or the high marches that we're doing, moving that lower body, getting things warmed up, getting things ready. Today is not a high intensity workout because, like we said, we are getting our bodies moving in preparation for the open or a competition. So you can think of this as a little bit of active recovery, but we're not going full on in terms of pushing that pace. Next one we have is that athletes are gonna step back out. Brock is moving to 5 burpees to target. During this time, he's using this to make sure that the height is good on his target that he's doing, going all the way down to the floor. Becca is doing her elevated burpees to a toe rise. So she's going up on her toes at the top and then going back into that version. Again, the version we're doing today is gonna be closer to an up-down, so there's no push-up. If you wanna add the push-up in at home, you are more than welcome to. Athletes are gonna move back to a run on the air runner, and now Becca is going into her standing marches. Becca will have standing marches in the workout. Brock is gonna have running in the workout, so you guys pick which one you wanna do. If you guys are gonna be running, you wanna make sure 100 meters is roughly 15 seconds out and 15 seconds back, or 30 seconds of running. So choose that, figure out what your distances are if you don't have access to a runner. So that will conclude our warm-up. Put your cell phone on silent, take care of the dog, go grab some snacks, water, whatever you need, because we are getting started in just a few moments. The workout is starting now. We've got 10 seconds on the clock. Athletes are getting ready for burpees. We've got elevated burpee air squats and regular burpee air squats in 3, 2, 1, go. Athletes today are prescribed at 5 reps here. The athletes that we have in the studio have been instructed to go 5, or they can work for about 45 seconds with 15 seconds of rest. I'm always gonna call the 45-second mark and then the top of the minute, so you know when to stop and start if you're going along the guidelines of 45 seconds. Today's pace is moderate. You should go into this, stay consistent. Don't worry about jacking your heart rate up too much because we're really looking at getting our body moving before a big competition day. We've got Brock going through his burpees to a step back lunge on each side to work around some knee issues he has in the squat. And then we have Becca doing her elevated burpee with an air squat. And remember, we're not going all the way to the box today. It's only that up, down, and 45 seconds. You guys can rest. Athletes are gonna be making their way into where they're gonna be doing their run or their standing marches. So we will start in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Again, on this, we can go for our 30 seconds of prescribed standing marches here, and then we've got Brock going in his 100-meter run. If you guys didn't map out that 100-meter run in your warm-up, you can go 15 seconds out and 15 seconds back. During our portion for our marches or our run, we are looking for 30 seconds roughly of work. So get that dialed in. If you need to go a little bit less on the run to hit that, you are most welcome to. We've got 30 seconds on the clock right here, so you guys can stand by. We've got 2 8-minute EMOMs here. We're gonna have the same with the run and the standing marches, but our burpee variations will change slightly. Again, when we're on these rest times, we're moving around, we're not standing in place. We wanna make sure that we get ourselves prepared to move again, because today is just the day to get the heart rate elevated. We are moving, we're getting ready to finish top in the open, so let's stand by in 3, 2, 1, and go. We've got our athletes back on our elevated burpee to air squat, and then we have our burpee step back lunge with each leg, or our burpee air squat. Again, you guys are going for 5 reps prescribed, or if you want to push it a little bit longer on this and go 45 seconds total of work, you are more than welcome to. If we're going the 45 seconds today, try to stay consistent with the number of reps that you perform. At the end of this workout, you should not feel wrecked from this. You should feel like you got some good volume in, some good work. You're ready for that competition day that's right around the corner, whether that's local, whether that's on the world stage, or whether it's the open, because we always have that once a year, so we want to be ready. Athletes have 5 seconds, and 3, 2, 1, and rest. That's our 45-second mark. We got 15 seconds before we go into our standing marches or our run walk. We are going in 5, 3, 2, 1, go. We've got Brock and Becca with us once again, our favorite married couple here in the studio. We've got Becca is expecting, she's 6 months along, so we're always making sure that we're taking that into consideration with the movements that we choose. Becca's doing a standing march, focusing on keeping that core slightly engaged as she brings her knees up. If you guys experience any type of coning, if you're an expecting athlete, make sure you're modifying these movements to minimize and avoid that happening. Becca has talked to her medical professional. We've spoken before these workouts to make sure that we feel nice and safe with what we put in today's workout and every other workout that we do with this lovely couple. We've got 20 seconds on the clock. We are moving back into these burpees once again. For our EMOM number 1, we are halfway through at this point. So we're 4 minutes in, and we got another 4 minutes before we switch over. We have 7 seconds on the clock. 5, and 3, 2, 1, go. Once again, I know you're tired of me saying this, but we are either going for our 5 prescribed reps, or if you want a little RX plus today, we can go for 45 seconds with a 15-second rest before we get back into the marches or the run. Athletes are doing a great job of making sure that they're going through full range of motion here. We're doing burpees, which is everyone's nemesis, and then we're mixing it up a little bit with the step back lunge or air squat in between. You choose what feels like it's going to be most effective to keep you moving consistently here, or to work around any kind of existing injuries or things that might be going on with those knees or those hips. We've got another 5 seconds before we hit that 45-second mark. Athletes are doing great. And 3, 2, 1, rest. We are moving back into that run. If you guys need to change this to a 30-second walk, you are more than welcome. Remember, we're not pushing the pace today. We're just moving. We're nice, we're coasting along. We're getting ready for those big days that are coming up. And go. We are onto that run and onto the high marches. With the high marches, it's easy to cheat that standard and drop the chest. So we keep our chest up, we keep our chin up, and we think about bringing those knees up as high as we can. We can use our hands as targets if we want to make sure that we're staying consistent like Becca is doing, or if we know where those knees are gonna go, we do not have to use hands. Your choice, whichever you prefer there. We got Brock getting faster and faster on these runs. He's doing a great job. We're looking for consistency with these, so make sure you are doing something that doesn't feel like it's absolutely gassing you, but we're just keeping that body moving. It's like wintertime, you've gone out, you started up your car, and you're just letting it idle. That's what we should feel in today's workout. We're idling. We're getting ready for that big day that's showing up tomorrow, the next day, or this weekend. We have 10 seconds on the clock, and athletes are going into our burpee variations in 3, 2, 1, go. Again, with these burpees, you are not pushing the pace. We're not looking at getting to the top of the leaderboard here. We are just moving for either the 5 reps that are prescribed or the 45 seconds of work if you want to bump up that challenge just a little bit. This is going to be our last round on our first EMOM, and then we've got another EMOM of 8 minutes, or every minute on the minute, with a little bit of a variation on our burpees. Athletes are doing a great job of keeping the same pacing. We're gliding right now. We're coasting through. We're letting our bodies do some movement, get that blood flowing. We have another 10 seconds until we hit that 45-second mark, if you guys are going that far. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Athletes are moving back into the run, back into these standing marches once again. You can adjust the height of how high those knees go based on where you feel the most comfortable with. And 3, 2, 1, and go. Again, we have 30 seconds of standing marches. It's not possible to get that done faster or slower. We are going 30 seconds. Brock is going into this 100-meter run once again. He's been staying very consistent between the 24-second mark, the 27-second mark, and that's what we're gonna aim for. Don't get so fast on your runs that you start getting slower on those. Once again, 24 seconds, a man of consistency, and 30 seconds for Becca every single time. It's so impressive. So now what we're doing is we're going into our new EMOM, so our 8-minute, every minute on the minute. Brock is gonna go 5 burpees to a target, so we've got that about 6 inches above his max reach, and then we've got 5 elevated burpees with our toe rise. So you're gonna go up onto your toes at the end of that burpee. We are going in 10 seconds. Again, nice and steady here. Our pacing is moderate. You're not trying to get heavily out of breath on these. We are going 3, 2, 1, and go. We have the same rule here of going 5 reps, or we can go to that 45-second mark. We've got Becca going into her burpees, which technically this is gonna be an up down. We don't have that push up at the bottom portion. If you would like to add this, you can, but if you wanna stay with the up down, that is just fine. Because again, this is our active recovery day that we're going through before our competition day. Becca's getting up onto her toes at the top. She's showing full extension to the top. I like the nice little hand extension. You guys can throw that in there too. We've got Brock going into his reps here, making contact with both hands at the top. I'm sure burpees are gonna show up in the open in some variation. They always do. They always do. We've got 3, 2, 1, and rest. Athletes are moving back into the same variation of that 2nd-minute piece on our EMOM of a run or our 30-second standing march. We are going in 5, and 3, 2, 1, go. Again, on this portion, we are always going the same distance or the same time for the standing marches. We want to make sure there's consistency here. So count those standing marches, and I want you to get the same number every single time. Brock's goal on the run is to try to hit that same run every single time. I don't know if you've done the math or not, but we are tricking you into running a mile within the 16 minutes. So if you didn't know that, I apologize for breaking the bad news, but hey, we're getting you fitter, we're sneaking that distance in wherever we can. And 30 seconds for Becca. We are moving into our 2nd round of our 2nd EMOM, which is technically gonna be minutes 3 and 4. We are going in 20 seconds. Again, today is just get your mind right. Use this time to think about what you're gonna have either in your competition, what your strategy is for the open, but most importantly, we are trying to have some fun as we do every single day. We are looking at 5, 3, 2, 1, go. We are on to our burpees once again. If you guys don't have a target at home, that is fine. What you're gonna do is you can do these next to a wall and try to hit the same height or the same target on that wall, switching each round so that you're using a different side to reach up. If you don't have anything that you could use, then you guys can just look at doing a jump at the top of that burpee and get a little bit of height there. We've got Becca in her up downs to that toe raise. With that toe raise, we're looking for that full extension at the top. This will be our variation of the jump with that burpee. Athletes have 10 seconds, and then we are going to go into our rest period in 5, and 3, 2, 1, rest. Moving back to the run, back to the standing marches. We've got 10 seconds on the clock, and 5, 3, 2, 1, go. As we mentioned with Brock and Becca, they are a couple that we love having here. Becca is currently expecting. She's 6 months. And what we're doing throughout this is making sure that we're doing movements that feel safe to her, but are also a challenge. Because there's a big misconception that pregnancy is weakness, which is not. It's one of the strongest things that a woman can do in her entire life. And we want to make sure that we encourage fitness throughout that time for both mom and baby. So make sure you check with your medical professional that you are cleared for working out, and then join us for these modifications that we throw in here so that you can stay fit and healthy all the way through. We have 20 seconds on the clock, and then we are moving back into our burpee variations. I said this earlier, but Becca has talked about experiencing coning during this pregnancy, so we're making sure that she is staying focused on keeping her core engaged throughout every movement that we do. We've got 5 seconds, and 3, 2, 1, go. We're going back into these burpees once again. This is a nice workout where you can just turn your brain off and you can move. You can listen to the soothing sounds of my voice if you like, or you can put me on mute and just watch for me to say when you gotta stop and start. But we are staying consistent over all of these rounds. We want the same number of reps every single time. You're either going 5 reps total, or if you decide to push it and make it a little RX plus, then we can go for that 45-second mark. We don't wanna get to a place where we're starting to get into a deficit, because again, we're getting our body moving, we're getting that blood flowing. This is some good active recovery. The intensity should feel around 50 to 60%. Athletes are resting in 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're back to the run, back to those standing marches in 10 seconds. And 5, 3, 2, 1, go. If you guys are not counting those standing marches, I want you doing it for the rest of this workout. If you guys are keeping track of those times on the run, we should see consistent grouping on those times. I'll give you a spread of 4 seconds. So if you hit 26 seconds on your first run, I will let you go to 24, or I'll let you go to 28. But I don't want you getting outside of that. Establish a median that you can hit every single time. Brock is on it with 24 seconds almost every single time. And 30 seconds for Becca. She's also hit 30 seconds every single time, so a true athlete. We've got about 20 seconds left. The great news about this is our last 2 minutes. You guys have made it this far. Stay consistent with it. Sometimes days like this can be a little boring, but this is much needed to prepare your body for what you're about to put it through on those competition days. We've got 5 seconds, and 3, 2, 1, go. Days like today are fantastic to let your mind kind of settle, focus in on the work that you're doing, shut things off, and just move. Be grateful for the ability to move, be grateful for the movements that you're able to do, because often we do take those for granted. We just think about how bad burpees are. But I want you during this final set to really be grateful that you're able to do burpees, and for the opportunity to work out whenever you want to. So we love having you guys here. It means the world to me that you've shown up today. I love seeing you guys here every single day. We've got 15 seconds left for these athletes to move through this, and then we'll take our rest time. And 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and rest. That is the end of your burpees. Now we just have marches and running to do, and then we are done. We have 8 seconds on the clock, and 5, 3, 2, 1, go. Even if you're doing standing marches today and you're not doing the runs, you can get a lot of benefit out of this. We are making sure we're staying consistent with the height, consistent with the pacing here. Brock is gonna hit the 24 seconds again. I'd put my money on it. I know Becca's gonna hit the 30 seconds again because she's done it every single time. This is the final round that we have for today, so stay with it. Keep moving until you hit those goals, until you hit that which you established with 24 seconds. Once again, great job, Brock. And we'll see if she can do it. And 30 seconds. Great job, Becca. So athletes, thank you so much for joining us. You guys have done fantastic. You should be finished up by now because again, that portion is only 30 seconds of work. You are gonna do fantastic in the open. You're gonna place very, very well in your competition. Thank you for joining us. Great job. Athletes, wonderful job on this nice active recovery day. We are wishing you the best in the open. We are wishing you the best in your competition. If you had fun today and you are not a part of the Mayhem Athlete community, we want you to join us. The Mayhem Athlete community offers a wide variety of training options, everything from at-home workouts, gym workouts, functional fitness, CrossFit, bodybuilding, anything that you could possibly want, you will find it with Mayhem Athlete. You'll find a group of coaches and athletes that are like-minded in their goals, and whether you are looking just to stay fit for everyday life, or you're looking to take the competition floor, we can help you get there. So join us today. If you're already a part of the Mayhem community, thank you so much. Now, this is the part that I always tell you, you have to do your mobility, which is somewhere right here. Throw a like on this video, throw a comment down below if you can, and stick around, show up next time. Be kind, be a good person, and we will see you for the next workout.